Okay then. Right. You ready? Hello, folks. Holding it together. Just. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Oh, well, I thought I was. No, I'm not. No. Right. Right. I need my chat. No, I don't need to look at the chat right now. I really don't need to look at the chat right now. I always knew people appreciated what I did. You know, the patrons, and, you know, patron works, it's a little bit in and people drop off, but, you know, people chip in. You know, and I see comments that people like the videos because, you know, they enjoy watching them and, you know, they have a laugh and I give them enthusiasm. But going into the campaign, Kickstarter, putting together a book and asking people to put their money, a wedge, you know, a wedge to me anyway, what you call it, down on the table for something. And not for the enthusiasm, not for the jokes and, you know, the live shows and the banter, but for what I actually know and what I teach. It took me a long time. I mean, it was only a week before the actual Kickstarter that people had convinced me that it was going to fund, and I'd seen enough people saying, yeah, I'd pledged that. I thought, yeah, I didn't know, what you call it, 2-3 weeks, maybe hit a stretch goal or two, but going in, I thought, yeah, okay, it's going to fund. I think it's going to fund. Oh, don't be doing that right now. Sorry, I do not mean to apologise, Otis. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean it like that. Oh, thank you, buddy. But no, going into the campaign, I just convinced myself that I've generated and I've put out enough goodwill that we should fund. To fund in 7 hours. Right now, it's 175 or something, I haven't looked, percent funded. It's the third most popular project in the Kickstarter games category. It's the 9th most popular project on the entire Kickstarter site. It's my painting tissue. I didn't know you thought that much of me. I didn't know that. What? The train stuff. Hold it together, boys. Been walking around most of the weekend after it funded, just numb. The comments and the messages. I haven't even got the posts, the launch post on Friday. I haven't even got round to liking the comments or replying to them on Facebook. I haven't even touched. Oh, thank you. Oh, I haven't even got round to touching the comments on the vlog or the launch video or. Oh. It's just been overwhelming. Thank you. I know you lot. I'm not looking at the chat because you'll break me. You'll break me completely. And I'm barely holding it together right now. I thought I could hold it together until I click go live. Yeah, but you'll break me. So I'm not looking. I can't see the chat right now. I can't see questions or anything like that. But just it's been overwhelming, guys. I can't. Thank you doesn't seem enough. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you know why I came and I started this channel, and it worked for me. But damn, guys, to have so much belief in me. All right then. Right. No, I'm not walking out. I'm not going to have a fag break or anything like that. We're going to do this. You guys are going to break me. Right. Right now, I'm going to have a quick look before we start, because I know B Moswell is already in the chat updating people because he's been doing it everywhere. Thank you, Brian. Oh, it's cool. Yeah. We are on 55. We are just shy of £56,000 with 1,643 backers and 28 days to go. Guys, I can honestly say I have never been so happy to have more work to do. Right. We're either going to do this or you're going to break me, but we can't hold it off any longer, can we? All right, Boastcalls, let's have a look at the chat. Hello, folks. It's 9 o'clock Sunday night, UK time. Time for the Sunday Nighter. Well, oh, God, there's tons of you. Absolute tons. Right, I'm seeing people on Facebook. I see Ash, I see MJ, I see Jace. Love it, Dave Taylor. Dave's in, is he? He's sending hearts there. How many comments have you guys made? Right, I don't know why it ain't showing on the editor. It's a normal Sunday night to show then. Okay, come on, where's my editor? Come on, you. Refresh. Give us the whatchamacallit. Give Mel the chats. Done. Okay, we should start getting chat messages. Now, I do need to go back, and very quickly. I haven't even thought about patrons or PayPalers or anything like that. But, yeah, Otis today on Super Chat, $5 through watching Super Chat. Thank you, buddy. Sorry, I did not mean to just tell you. Really sorry about that, mate. Yeah, Mel's like powering through this because I figure if we power through this, I can hold myself together. Yeah, so Otis, genuinely, dude, I'm sorry sorry about that reaction. You just really caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, and Adam, yeah, we're all rooting for you, Mel. Keep up the great work. Thank you, buddy. I was talking to Jeremy at Black Magic Crafts in the launch party. Awesome guy. Go check out his channel. Yeah, the link's on my channel page in my recommended. Yeah. Did a shout out for us to his God knows how many followers he's got now, but really great guy. But I was sort of saying that when the community put you on a pedestal, they make you their champion. And I've always seen that as, you know, I only stand up here because people raise me up here. And I'm not sure if I'm morally or duty bound or I don't know, but I feel that if the community chooses me as their champion for whatever reason, yeah, I'm actually starting to believe it might be for terrain, to be perfectly honest. There's a scary thought. Yeah, but for whatever reason, if they choose you as your champion, yeah, you are morally obliged to champion the community. And this book, Yeah, the support it's got, it's just like, I've got to make this good. I've got to make this so good. I can't let that many people down. You know what I mean? Oh, right. I haven't even looked at the comments yet, and I'm pulling myself together. We're getting there. Got to let the adrenaline and the emotions sort of flush out. Yeah. You're at 5. I'm much at. Yeah, I am, Max. Thank you. Over 1,300 physical books now. Do you know what's scary? I actually know what the stretch goals are, and I know because books become, hardback when they get to a certain thickness, and I know that I could be getting a hardback book. I'll be able to beat the children with it. For legal purposes, YouTube and social services, that was a joke. For entertainment purposes, just in case, just in case, we get into a bit of trouble there. You know what it's like with all the YouTube stuff. But yeah, we could be getting a hardback book. Now, the other thing that it just completely went out of my mind. Yeah, and I'll jump on the comments in a minute. I'll start chatting, yeah. But the other thing that went completely out of my mind was, once I'd convinced myself that, okay, it's going to fund. I'm sure it's going to fund. Oh, no, I'm not, I'd been convinced it was going to fund, and I was believing enough people. Yeah. Yeah. Denny, thank you, buddy. But anyway, yeah, thank you, dude. So anyway, once I'd sort of been convinced that it was going to be fund, one of the things that out of the book I get, yeah, is obviously, if it funds, then there's a bit left over, assuming we don't have any disasters with reprints and ship, anything major, yeah. And I've got a couple of things I wanted to do. I wanted to take Kez away for her island trip and give her a damn good weekend, long weekend. Yeah, because I owe that woman. I seriously owe that woman. I could cry over that, to be truthful. She's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But anyway, I wanted to take Kez away. I wanted to take the kids away and the family away for a good, long, a week-long holiday in the sun, all-inclusive, somewhere in the Med. Not, not 5-star or anything like that, but just a good holiday, because we've never been able to take them abroad before. We've never had the money and, been in the position to. Yeah, so I wanted to take the kids away. But also, the other big thing was I wanted to upgrade the cameras in the studio to 4K cameras. Not just get a 4K camera, but change all 3 cameras and possibly have a free floating mounting one, depending on, whether things, expenses on the Kickstarter turned out to be expensive. Because you never know conversion rates on dollars and stuff like that at the end of the day, when you're dealing with international currencies. And something like 10 cents can make a difference over a chunk, if you know what I mean. But the idea was that I wanted to upgrade the 4K cameras. Oh, you are going to... Hello?
Hello. I thought I was in trouble then.
No, not at all. But just let me cut the... Oh, you guys are going to be seeing Mel in glorious high quality now because we've funded. So I know that's... I can get those. Heave-ho, sending you love and support from Tampa Bay. Thank you, buddy. Hello, you.
Hello.
Were you excited about it as well? Have you realised what it means that Dad's funded?
Sort of not.
Okay. Just as I was telling these guys, remember I said that, look, if we can make this happen by the end of the campaign, then one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to go on a family holiday to the sun for, to a real sunny, foreign country, beach holiday in a nice hotel, all inclusive, yeah, with what you call it, where you can get burgers and ice creams as much as you want for free. Yeah, well, that's what all inclusive is. Yeah, and have a really nice holiday.
Yeah.
Well, we funded, so we're going on holiday. Now that could break me. Come here, give me a love you.
Yeah, Dad. Where are we even going?
Do you know what? I hadn't even thought about it. Because, we didn't even know, you know what I mean? if it was going to happen or what we'd be able
And
to
a
do.
welcome Willa to the show.
I think I'm going to have to work out and just give Kerry a budget and say, oh, where do you think your mum would take us?
Nowhere in America.
No, what you call it? She'd take us to what you call it?
Yeah, she hates America, doesn't she? Well, not hate it, but...
It's not that, what you call it? Kerry wants to do Italy. She doesn't hate America.
Oh. I thought she did.
No.
What?
Why would your mum hate America? She's never even been. I mean, to be truthful, half the TV your mum watches is American, isn't it? How many of the American dramas does she... I mean, I've got to go to a Chicago fire station with a gift from you. Yeah, when I go to Adepticon, because your mum watches Chicago Fire. Oh.
Chase? It's Jace?
I know.
Do we answer?
Yeah, 2 seconds. That was my Jace calling. He manages me. I've got Kat managing me in the comments. Yeah, I've got Jace managing me. I've got Dave managing me. Yeah? Right.
Yeah.
You're nuts.
Yeah.
Right, come on. Jump off.
You gotta wear this for one live show.
I am not wearing a face mask. Right, bugger it off. Go on.
Yeah.
Right, it's bedtime now. Are you getting a drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then. Right, that was my Jace ringing to tell me that there's loads of people in the comments that I can't even see. Yeah, who are interested in the Kickstarter but don't know how Kickstarter works. Right, Kickstarter is crowdfunding. Yeah, I've been told I've got to do this. Yeah, I told you I need managing. I do terrain. Yeah, writing the book, I can write the pages and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, all this marketing and all this, like, explaining Kickstarter stuff, this is what I have a day for. And this is, you know, and Jace has stepped in and he's managing this side. I'm managed on both sides of the Atlantic. It won't be long until someone starts managing me in Asia. And that won't, you know. There's too many people managing me. Right, let me explain Kickstarter. Kickstarter is crowdfunding. Now, what you do is basically you jump on and you pledge to make a project happen. Now, our project is funded, which means it's happening, but we're going through stretch goals. Stretch goals work as every stretch goal we make the final project better. Okay, so it's happening. We're just trying to make it better. Now, this is a 31-day campaign. We've got 28 days left. So if you jump on at any point right now, yeah, you don't have to pay anything until the end of the campaign, the very end, which is the 14th of April. And we'll be finishing, yeah, the campaign on a live show at 10 o'clock. So we'll start the live show. Dave will be here, yeah, on the 14th of April. Yeah, he'll be here. We'll start probably early. Yeah, we'll follow the end of the campaign through, and then you'll get billed sometime, probably, you know, within a 24-hour sort of period. Twitch, just wanted to pop in and say thanks. Learned so much from the videos. Cheers from California. Thank you, buddy. Right, back to Kickstarter. I need to call it. Need to get better at doing those announcements because they distract me. So, nothing will be charged until, you know, middle of April, guys. You know, 14th, 15th, maybe 16th. I'll check with Dave, but don't worry about what you've got in your account now. Okay, now, you can jump on for $1 now. You can jump on at any pledge level. And you can move up and down pledge levels until the end of the campaign. You can also cancel your pledge. You know, please don't. But, you know, you can if you want to. So, if you're worried...
If you want to cancel your pledge, it's for a good thing.
Yeah, okay. Just 1 second. I got a bit blubbery before. Oh, now it's the aftermath of the tears. Professional Kickstarter promoter here, guys. So, yeah, you can jump on at any sort of point. You can change your pledges at any sort of point, and then at the end, that's when you build. Okay? And then after that, we go live and start doing the book and, you know, constructing it and all that sort of stuff. But there's updates on the Kickstarter page to find out about that. But money-wise, you can pledge right now. Don't worry until the middle of next month. Yeah?
Yep.
So, hopefully, my bosses will say that's good enough.
I'm one of his bosses.
You're not one of my bosses.
I'm your manager. Or project manager.
I've got too many managers, folks. Right. Yeah, we are. Wow, we have got some viewing figures tonight, folks. Perhaps I should cry at the start of every... Then again, with this Kickstarter, I probably could. Right, links are down below, guys. Now, down below, you will find links to... First off, and most importantly, yeah, the Google Doc for terrain questions this show. Dave was expecting me to say Kickstarter. There's a link to the Kickstarter down there as well. But, yeah, I want to do what I'm here for. Dave's going to get me... I'm going to get in trouble. I'll have Dave ringing me next. They'll be like, just for one show. Oh, we've got tons of questions coming in. I've got 14 so far. Oh, so, Kickstarter is going brilliantly. Yeah, we are... Oh, Stargate, proud backer here. Sub for 5 years ago and been enjoying you ever since. Your vids were and are a sanctuary. Thank you, buddy. I love terrain making, but don't have the resources to do it, so I live through your videos. Thanks, bud. Glad you enjoy it, mate. Genuinely. Oh, we have hit 56. Oh, my dear God. Right. Nah. We're not going to do a stretch goal tonight. Can't see it. Not going to happen. What are we? Next scroll is 63. We're at 56. 50, well, that's good. Come on, maths. Nah, it's 7.5. We'll see. See, I shouldn't look at it. That's what I should do. I get in trouble, I do. Right, so, we've got tons of terrain questions. Yeah, how many people have we got watching across the board? It's telling me 220 on YouTube, 7 on Facebook, 17 on Twitch. Hello, guys. I should be seeing your comments now on the old commentaroo. I'm getting better at this sort of stuff. Let me drag that over to there. Yeah. Super chats are flying. Can someone clean the stream heroes? I don't know how to clean it. Right, got my restream chat up. So I've got my chat window. Oh, people are following. I still haven't figured out how to watchcall it. I still haven't figured out how to turn off notifications for Twitch followers. But thanks for following on Twitch. Right, I have my chat window open. I have my questions. We are good to go. 16, right, okay, we're still going. Right. Oh, Bimoza, thank you. If the Kickstarter raises 1 million, Mel should visit every backer's house and sign a copy. Can you imagine how many houses that would be? Can make up to 20% in tonight's stream, up to 200%. Do you think? I don't know. Mel the math tutor. I don't think so, guys. What's your favourite airbrush paint? I tend to use I'm answering terrain questions in the in the comments. No. I'll answer this one because I started it, but I'm not answering terrain questions in the comments, guys. That's what the Google Doc down below is for. Yeah, you'll see it when you pass the Kickstarter link. Sorry. Yeah, but I tend to use house paints and put them through an airbrush, so I don't tend to use airbrush range of paints because I don't really airbrush models. But generally when I do use model paint through an airbrush, I use Army Painter, and that's because generally I'm touching up terrain that I've sprayed with the Army Painter spray primers. And when you got gribbly bits that overhangs that the spray primers don't get, I use the colour match from the Army Painter range and go in and just lightly touch it up with an airbrush. I am not a very naughty boy, Jimmy. Jason's saying it's a 186 funded at present. Well, let's see what we do. Hit the like button. Mel, when in Italy, do a show where you make a diorama based on your holiday location. That's a series I'd watch. Mel on holiday, eh? Oh, I've got to figure out how to turn that down. Right, let's do this. Right, Inge is asking on YouTube, and remember, whatever platform you're on, if you look at the description, I've done it today on Twitch and on Facebook. You'll have links there to the Google Doc. You don't need to be signed in. All you got to do is just go to the page, enter your screen name, enter what platform you're watching from, yeah, and enter your question, and we'll slowly work through them. Now, to be perfectly honest, since the Kickstarter went live, I've slowly adjusted to American time. I don't even know, I think it was early afternoon I got up today, yeah, and so we could keep going quite easily as long as I can keep my coffee charged. I may need to have the occasional fresh air break, but you know, don't get at me for that. Right, for my tropical dollhouse I have to make palm trees, but much bigger than the standard ones you've used. How can I make some convincing bark tree trunk? Now, if you're going to make palm trees and you're going to scale them up, I would suggest you go and look at fir tree branches. Okay, fir tree branches are essentially, they grow in exactly the same biological process, yeah, as, well, pretty much, you know, the same method, you know. I'm really butchering the science here, guys, so if there's any ecologists, yeah, that are watching the stream, yeah, forgive me, but fir trees grow in the same way that palm trees sort of grow, okay? Now, what it means is fir tree branches have the same sort of rivets and ridges, yeah, as palm tree trunks. Exactly the same. Well, pretty much, you know what I mean? Yeah? And so, all you got to do is go along, yeah, to your local, to like a fir wood, an evergreen fir wood, yeah? You might not be able to find the right size branch that's fallen off, but if you just look round, yeah, just look for the right sort of thickness for them, and then just, you know, cut those, dry them out, okay, and you're either going to need to give them a soaking in bleach or something that'll kill off the gribblies, yeah, dry them out afterwards, and then once you have, I normally give them a sort of soaking of like watered down PVA with a bit of an fungicide in, if I'm doing, you know, posh, yeah. And then I'll spray primer to give them a full seal. But you can have convincing bark tree trunk, and you don't even have to do the wire armatures because they come and you can get all different sizes because you just pick them. You know, I want that one off the tree. You know what I mean? They do tend to limit because it starts to change as they grow longer and get thicker. Yeah, but for most of the scales we work at, yeah, I think it starts cutting out when you get to sort of Action Man scale. Yeah, but if it's under Action Man scale, then, or Barbie scale, yeah, then you're going to be good. Right. So, Inge, I hope that helps you. Yeah, that's how to do bigger, palm tree trunks, yeah. Go to a fir wood, just look for the right sort of branch. You'll love them, yeah. But make sure that you dry them out, you kill off the gribblies with something, yeah, and then you give them a seal so they don't go mouldy. So that's question 1 of 25. We're having a show tonight, guys. Remember, if you like it, links down below. Support me in any way you can. Remember, if you can't support me on the financial side and that sort of stuff, you can support me and help me by sharing the Kickstarter page. Yeah, I think that's the community stuff that's really made this happen. So, if you're sitting there and you're wondering, I'd love to support you, Mel, but I just can't. Yeah, a share helps. Yeah, and if you do share, throw it in the comments on one of the vlogs or on the Facebook page or one of the posts. Yeah, we're putting together this sort of collection, a record of everyone who shared, you know, the project. So we're doing one for the backers. Yeah, because, you know, we want to collect all the backers' names and make sure that, you know, the people who made the project come together are recognised. And at the same time, I want to do one for and I asked Dave and he said, yeah, he's fully up for that. One for the people who share the project as well, because I know I've got a lot of supporters who can't support me financially. Yeah, and that's okay, because they're really helping me, support me by sharing and that sort of stuff. And I want to recognise them, because this really is a community effort, you know what I mean? So links down below. Remember, if you can't help financially and make the, you know, the project happen, that sort of stuff, you can watch it. You can jump on and, you know, give it a share, and that's great. Right. Oh. I've almost finished my brew, but next diorama, Antarctica with no trees, so I can get the darn thing done quickly. I like that idea. I can't believe we're only about a week away from Adepticon. That has not been on the radar. I put it off the radar until the launch of the Kickstarter, and then it's been roller coastering, and I haven't had a chance to. Right, Randy. I see people use tape to block off the ends of rivers and streams when making terrain. Does it really matter what tape is used? Generally, no. As long as you take it off, yeah, a couple of hours after it, once the resin starts getting tacky, okay. So once it's sort of solidified enough that, you know, you can move the piece and the resin isn't sloping from one side or another. You don't want to take the tape off too early and have, you know, the ends of your rivers drain out. Okay, so once it's sort of tacky, ideally you don't want to leave it till till you peel, until it's fully cured, because that can make the tape stick to it. Now what you can get is electrical flash tape, yeah, and it's a silicon tape. Now you can leave that on until it's fully cured, because it's a silicon, yeah, the resin doesn't stick to it. It's specific, it's designed for electricians, but the resin artists use it. Yeah, so that's the very best sort of tape you can get. It's called electrical flash tape. I get mine from Easy Composites, but that's because they're like my preferred resin, and also they're like 2 miles. They're literally on the school run to school, so I can you know. It's really easy if I need it. I can just nip up there and grab it off them. Yeah, but any sort of tape will do. Sellotape's preferred. I'd keep away from masking tape, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. Not because I know you would have problems and people can chip in and say, no, that's fine. But I just have this feeling masking tape might be the wax, and I wouldn't do that one with Sellotape's probably the best. Yeah. If you're doing a large one, parcel tape, remember you can use plasticard. When you use the tape, one of the key points is whatever tape you use, when you put it on and you seal up sort of the edge, because you'll have your river piece, and then you'll have your ridges either side to hold the resin in the middle, and then you'll have open ends. So your tape covers the open end. Put your tape on, and then with a brush, mix up a tiny little bit of clear resin first. Yeah, just a little. Yeah, and with a brush it over the sides and round the edges. Perhaps like an hour before you plan on doing your pours. Just so it's really thin, so it'll tack up really quickly. Yeah, but that'll make sure you seal the gaps, so that when you put the bulk of your resin in, yeah, the weight of it doesn't force the sellotape away from the piece and make a hole and drain out. Yeah, so if you just cover that edge first and seal it before, you know, an hour before you do your major pour, you won't have any problems. Yeah. Now, obviously, when you use tape, you're going to have the meniscus problem. Yeah, and that's where you get that little ridge line that comes up. Okay, you get it on any sort of water. It's called a meniscus. Yeah, meniscus I think means half moon in Latin. Yeah, your knee cartilages are called your menisci. Yeah, so when people talk about I've torn my cartilage in my knee, yeah, you've actually torn one of your menisci. Yeah, and you can tell I used to be a physio, can't you? But anyway, that little lip that you get on all water sort of things, it's a effect of like physics and hydrodynamics and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, but what you need to do is get rid of that. So I normally come in with a really sharp blade. I'll take off the ridge to almost as flat with the water. Yeah, I'll then come in with some fine sandpaper. Yeah, sand it down. Yeah, then come in with a damp rag, take off all the loose particles. Yeah, clean it all up, and then just give it a simple coat of a nice thick gloss coat, a model gloss coat. Yeah, that sits in all the file bits and makes it all smooth, and it turns it perfectly clear again, so you can get rid of those. Yeah, so Randy, I think that sums up sums up the tapes and all that sort of stuff. Hope you found it useful, buddy. Adepticon for Dave is getting Mel locked in a room and started on the book. Dave is in charge now. Oh, no, it isn't. Yeah, Dave has made it perfect. All right, just to wrap off. Listen, Randy, I hope you found that useful. That's all the information I can give you on taping up ends and the problems and that sort of stuff. Remember, you can jump on the stream and hit back on this. I really should start recording these, shouldn't I? And we'll produce like a video of the best questions. Yeah, watch it. Someone's asking, yeah, Kickstarter money comes out the 14th of April, 14th, 15th, 16th, I think. Yeah, keep an eye on Dave's comments because he'll be able to update you. Thank you, Carlos. I'm going to do a few I'm going to do 29 questions. I'm going to do a few sort of comments in between questions, just so I'm not literally just barreling. Yeah, so surface tension and hydrogen bond. Right, that's the menisci effect. Yeah, you can probably sand that meniscus off. You can, yeah, but I like going in with a blade. It's just, I don't know, it's just a little bit cleaner. Action Man crew cut works. The Blue Oyster Bar. Oh no. Kez is in bed because Kez went out on her work do last night and she is rather delicate today. The children, Corbin, Willow's come down and she's been incredibly quiet because it's bedtime. They know Kez is in bed. Yeah, they know I'm on a live show and so they're being incredibly quiet. Yeah, knowing I can't do anything about it. Corbin, yeah, he hasn't even shown his face. He hasn't even come down for a drink of milk, and he knows it's bedtime. Proof that Mel has mind powers. What? Just send us the book. Hey, Will. First, the book. Mel's trip to Adepticon is all about him having a great time. Really, happy Mel is a productive Mel. Isn't that a quote out of 1984 or something like that? Or some like dystopian map? You know, be happy with your work. I mean, I am 100% sure Dave has an itinerary for me planned. Actually, Dave, yeah, people are also asking, whether someone's offered to buy me tickets to the Mantic night on Saturday night. Okay, and I don't know and I'd love to go and all that sort of stuff. Hello? 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 Anyway, I don't know the sort of... It's not politics, is it? It's... What's the etiquette in that situation? You know what I mean? Because I don't want to just turn up at the Mantic night because someone's bought me a ticket. You know what I mean? Hello? What are we doing that? Dave, we'll have to talk about that. But yes, I've been invited to the Mantic night. I suppose I better start thinking about Adepticon to be truthful because I'm going next week. Can you make me a brew, please, baby? There you are. Adepticon should be part of your book tour. No, can't be part of the book tour. I've got a visa. Actually, no, I can go for networking, so that's okay. Go for it. You're a free and clear man. Was that to me? Did anyone in your house sleep Friday night? No. The kids did. Me and Kez, we were up till quite late. I was in shock, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, and then I've just been sort of like stumbling around numb since then. Now, to be truthful, this is actually interacting with you guys. It's actually quite nice interacting with you guys because I've sort of been like, I've been in a bubble. You know what I mean? Because I can see all the pages, I can see all the messages, but not chatting with people. You know, people who understand and people who are involved. Obviously cares and everyone's going, it's great and all that sort of stuff. And my mum's like, I knew it, I told you so. Yeah. Yes, I thought a happy Mel is a go for dancer Mel. I do owe you because I made a promise that we would go for dancer. 1,000 backers. Yeah, and so a go for dance is owed. Oh, Odin, thank you, buddy. I'm not sure if I thanked you.
Has CB been down for his drink?
He hasn't. He's been surreptitiously quiet. just walking down the stairs. Oh. She's an absolute gem. You should be bringing her brews. Oh, what shall it? I'll look after her. Don't worry, Cat.
Oh yeah, that's it. Brush that one off quick. Go on, brush that one off.
Oh, you.
quick.
That's a wife's hearing for you, isn't it? Love you, darling. Hello for Australia, Daniel says on Facebook. I mean, feel free to the Mantic night if you want. I'll be helping judge the Crystal Brush competition on the Saturday night. Yeah, I'll reach out to Ronnie and see what he thinks. Like I say, I hadn't even thought about it, so we're going to have to sort this week. Yeah. I'll sort that. Anyway, that's Mantic. I've got a few more questions to go. Do I look at the book or not? Do I look at the book or not? I don't know whether I should look at the book. Another 6 backers. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
I'm just standing here. Looking at
Do you know what? I've got so much to catch up on. I think I think it's going to be a mad week. I've got loads of comments and loads of questions and that sort of stuff to catch up on. I wasn't expecting it to explode like this. You know what I mean? And I don't have any mini eggs. Are you licking my head?
No. Go on. Quickly.
Don't know. If Mel is at Adepticon, GOH, what's GOH? Shouldn't he have carte blanche to everything? What do you mean? Adepticon meet on. Yeah, I think we should do an Adepticon meter. One pledge away from 75. Nah. What? I know it's not a stretch goal, but wow. Oh, right. Okay, no. I guess competition now. Quick. Gothic Gaming. No, you cannot add your guess for the sweepstake for how what you call it. How quickly the Kickstarter is going to fund. Bit late, buddy. I had to close that competition early. Is a gopher dance like the hamster dance? No, if you've seen Caddyshack, you know what the gopher dance is. If you haven't seen Caddyshack, yeah, why not? Why have you not seen Caddyshack? Are you sure you're my son?
No.
You may need to bring me biscuits.
Dad,
What sort of biscuits?
Just bring the biscuits.
Dad, the funny thing is that you always say I'm adopted, so I don't actually know. What? You asked. You did say it. How you son?
Who says you adopted?
Dad keeps saying I'm adopted.
Will you stop telling him he's adopted?
I don't tell him he's adopted.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. I just question whether you come from...
They swapped you in the hospital.
Don't say it. It's making me feel it again. I need a biscuit. No. They're going on about you. They know what you did.
What biscuits do we have?
I noticed he's got his phone, Mum. He's got his phone, Mum.
Yeah.
Give your dad your phone, mate.
Okay.
Nice try, buddy.
I brought my phone down.
Take off as well, look, yeah?
I see you walk past a bit in my hand.
Don't be looking at the biscuits.
I'm allowed a biscuit. Nah, yeah.
Go on, go on, you got...
Any other ones filled with cream? Oh,
Well, there's a cookie down there. They're buried.
Yeah, this is like mixed up.
evil human.
No, if you
There's
don't want
like
them.
ginger nut cream things in there. There's cookies
Right.
and bourbons.
Okay. Yeah, questions are coming in.
I love you.
For those who don't know, the dog's name is Oz, as in Ozzy Osbourne.
Oz Douglas.
And he likes biscuits.
That's what he's waiting for.
Yeah, it's because I've got the biscuit tub. He is going to sit and stand there the entire show. Yeah, if I put it here... Watch me the entire show. There you are, right? I'll settle in. Look at that. No, sorry, Oz. Not for you, mate. Nope. Daddy's biscuit. Right. I think we're going to be having a long show, guys, because there is no way we're going to get through these questions all on our own. So, here's to the aftermath party. Can you do the Funky Gibbon dance if you reach 60k? I don't even know what the Funky Gibbon dance is. Oh, he won't steal a biscuit. He won't touch it unless it's given to him. We all question if our sons are really ours. There's a daddy phrase that I use sometimes, not around Willow. Yeah, but you know, because he's growing up now, you know, if the army can trust him with an assault rifle, then I can trust him with a few, you know, adult sort of phrases. And I often question whether he comes from a certain biological part of my anatomy. He's like, you really come from my... He's like... But he's a good lad. He is a good lad. And, you know... Yeah, but sometimes... It's like, really? Really? Cheeky ahula. I don't know how to do that. Ahula. Kez will have to show me. Not tonight. Jimmy says, remember, it's your kids that choose your care home. I've always said you ain't taking to me, what you call it, me to a care home, kids. Take me to the woods, tie me to a tree. I've worked in care. 75k. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Wow. I mean, I'm still sort of in shock, and it's like... So what are we off the stretch goal? We could hit that goal by tomorrow morning. Right, anyway, questions. People need their answers. Okie dokie. The cat's saying they're questioning. There are times when I question if my kids are mine, and I'm their mum. Yeah, kids do that sort of stuff, don't they? You know what I mean? I know biologically you are mine, but what the hell? Right, last question we answered was Randy's about taping there, and we gave a damn good answer on that one. Yeah, okay. Sander Van Dyke's asking, I had a chat with somebody on Crossfire Facebook group where I spanned your Kickstarter, and we agreed on something that was scale. Is there going to be content on YouTube book or on 20 mil scale terrain? Not specifically on 20 mil scale terrain, because it sits between sort of 15 and 28, and so generally when you're building, you for different elements you gravitate towards materials and stuff that you would use in 15 or 28. It's weird with scale. What I want to try and get across in the book, in the section that we're dealing with in scale, isn't so much here are small scale buildings and small scale terrain builds as such, because we can cover that on the channel. Yeah, what I want to do is get across the core principles of understanding how scale works in wargaming, how to scale things, how to make things look realistic at different scales, how to how to know which materials to be working at the scales you're working at, depending on what they do. You know what I mean? With scales, okay, let me put it this way. Yeah, the moment you bring scale into terrain tutorials, you basically introduced a multiplier. At 28 mil, here's a foam board building. But if we have to do it at 20 mil, 15 mil, I mean, 10 mil, 8 mil with adeptus, old school 6 mil. You know, perhaps we want to go actually up and go to heroic 30, what is it, 36 mil now? Yeah? You're multiplying the tutorials, but with very little variation, just mainly materials and a bit of core thinking. So with regards to scale, I'm really focusing, because I don't have room to do that in the book. We can do that on the channel because the channel's unlimited. Yeah, but in the book, I want to make sure I get across the core principles so that it doesn't matter what scale terrain you're making, with the scale information and the rest of the book, you can make it. You know what I mean? After the last scales video, I actually put a lot of thought into how am I going to handle scales in this book. Because obviously, you know, if I say it's a 28mm scale book, Well, everyone's going, I do 6mm. I'm not interested. And it's not a 28mm scale book. It may have terrain in for 28mm. Yeah. But it's a terrain book. So I really need to sort of use the scale section to be able to, as a tutorial multiplier. Yeah. Take the information in the scales, add it to the information in this techniques bit, and you can make it at that scale. Do you know what I mean? There isn't really a difference in building one scale to another, aside from measurements. Actually, there is. Yeah. Quite typically in wargaming, the buildings are underscaled, yeah, but the actual features of the building we reference to are overscaled. Yeah. So doors, windows, stuff like that will be the right scaled size to scale, yeah, but the actual house itself is actually scaled down, because if we actually went with true scales, you know, and we actually scaled a house, most of the 28mm wouldn't actually fit on a table. Yeah, but anyway, I digress. Sorry, guys. Where can we get terrain tutor shirts? Figuring that one out right now. I've never realised so many of you wanted t-shirts. Right, so let's go on the questions. 4 of 32. Yeah. Toby on YouTube. I've got a lot of MDF Western scenery. I've got cheaply, barn, small sheds, a couple of shops, and a house. All looking as if wooden shacks in a frontier town. Mine is set with a water wheel and train tracks. How would you go about making this terrain more usable for World War II scenery, as it currently looks a bit odd? Right. I think the barn, small sheds, yeah, are going to be fine. Yeah. I think your issue is going to be the shops, because if it's got that Western feeling, it'll have that shop front board. Yeah. You know, like the idea that at the back, that it was you know, a proper roof and it had the front board. And the reason, yeah, that the Western houses were like that, yeah, is when they're setting up, I was watching a documentary about it, quite often they'd actually have tents on the frontier, yeah, and then a wooden front to it, yeah, and the wooden front remains, and then as they get successful and establish themselves, they actually build a house instead of a tent behind their, you know, where they've staked their land and put their board up. I think it was something to do with staking the land, you know, if you build one wall or something, one front. Yeah, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah. But I think they're going to be, I don't know about the house. You might be able to convert the house pretty easily by just, you know, throwing in a bit more brickwork with a bit of milliput. Yeah, to take it more to European. Yeah, rather than just a wooden one, which I'm expecting. Yeah. The mine and the water wheel, that should be, what you call it, that should be, it could, I'd maybe adjust the roof. Yeah, European roofs tend to be a little bit steeper. Yeah, the reason being is, what you call it, obviously, you know, we get the snow and that sort of stuff. So I think Wild West, where it was deserty, the roofs and stuff weren't really built for the I'm saying this as I understand it. I mean, someone in the Wild West might, or in the West might turn and go, you're talking rubbish, Mel. Yeah, I'll check in the comments. Yeah, but yeah, I think, what you call it, you need to deal something with that front board and then add a bit of brickwork to your buildings, mate. Without seeing them, it's really challenging. Yeah, so have a think of that. If you've got any thought, if you post them to the terrainiacs group on Facebook, links down below in the description. Yeah, what you call it, we can have a proper have a look at it then. And, you know, the terrainiacs are an awesome group. There's 18,000 of us, you know, and, you know, you will get feedback there. Oh, Pagan Shredheads, next question. Hope that helps, matey. Right, Mel, congrats on the Kitstar, keep cracking on first. Now my question. I just bought a Stone Effect acrylic paste. Right, okay, from Box. Do you have any tips, trips, or things to look out with this stuff? Right, I think you've bought Stucco, have you? So let me just do a quick Google search, mate. Because I've not used it. Acrylic colour. That's not the one I want. Okay, right. I'm struggling to find it, mate. I'm assuming you've just bought some sort of, what do you call it, stucco. You know what I mean? Proper art stucco, which is essentially like chalk mixed with an acrylic paste. It allows you to lay it down, and then as the acrylic sets, the chalk makes it harder as well. I know that's called stone paste. Yeah, essentially just don't water it down too much. Yeah, it gets its structure and everything from it actually having structure, so don't water it down too much. Beyond that, it's just lay it down. But I mean, you can throw some filler in, some house paint, and get the same stuff, mate. Yeah, just don't over water it down, yeah? But let me know how you get on with it, bud. Because I'll be honest with you, I've seen it, yeah? I've not really played with it beyond... I've seen it, you know, in some other guy's studio, not mine. You know, a mate of mine a while ago. Stargate 404 is asking, a while back GW had a Wargames terrain book. Will this be similar? It will be a step up on their book, to be perfectly honest. I know the books you're talking about because I have all of them. Yeah, I have the red one, I have the first edition of the blue one, and the second edition of the blue one. Yeah, of course I do. Yeah. Will you be good source other sources for inspiration, or is this all new? Or is it just terrain, or more all-encompassing? Right. Okay. Right. Basically, yeah, very much along the lines of the GW book, because it's the GW book is about war games terrain, so they cover similar categories, so it makes sense that, you know, my book would have similar categories in, because we're both on the same subject. Yeah, my book is a lot more in depth, Okay, now that's not to diss the GW book, because I love it. Yeah, but that's what we're going for. Yeah, material wise, for all the demo pieces, it's all new builds, so it's new material, it's my latest techniques, it's my latest information put down on paper right now. So it's far more update than the, than the videos. It's aimed at Wargames terrain, but I understand that I've got a lot of followers from other areas. So much like my videos, you know, there will be plenty in it for diorama makers, railroad modelers, crafters, and all sorts of ancillary sort of people to jump on and say, yeah, that's useful. There's a huge section on materials, core techniques that cover across all of them. You know what I mean? To be truthful with the Wargames terrain, it's only the sort of durability and the functionality bits that makes it Wargame terrain. After that, it's just scenic modelling. So it's only those little sections that don't apply to them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the rest applies. It's just I cover those sections so that my modelling book is about Wargames terrain modelling. Oh, right, hope that answers that one, Stargate. Remember, links down below if you want to get in on that. Right, okay. Done that one. Right. Okay, Pete's asking on YouTube, looking at battle mats as you did a roundup some time ago, do you know if there are any grass ones that are closely matched for Javis flock? Yeah, they make them. They, they make a range of paper ones, and I think you can get, cloth ones from them now. Yeah, so you can get them directly from Javis, mate. That was an easy question to answer. And they match their flock colours because they use their flock to flock them. Javis do a lot of flocking. That was wrong because Javis is named after the guy's parents who run it. Yeah, who set it up. Yeah, Jim and Avis. Sorry, dude. We need a terrain Bible. Been a while since. Oh yeah. I don't want to say I want to create a terrain Bible. Yeah, because it's big-headed. Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me. But I do thoroughly endorse the idea. You know what I mean? Right, I need a bicky. This live stream, we're going for it. We're an hour in already and we're still answering questions. More are coming in. People ask me about books. No, I've not seen that book. Right, to do. Okay, book question. Yeah, Joanne's asking, first of all, looking forward to seeing your beautiful book in my living room. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, my question is now, what part of the book are you looking forward to work on? The end page. To be truthful, I haven't even thought about it. Because, I mean, the entire book's a pleasure. Do you know what I mean? I get a buzz from the tutorials. I get a buzz from watching even the materials and being able to be, you know, the theory and yeah. I can't even pick, guys. In all honesty, sorry, Joanne. I just can't do it. Right. We're on question 11 of 33. So I think that's a good time for me to answer a question. I need to check the PayPals because there'll be people who've PayPaling that I'm not seeing. Oh, you shut up, Jace. Yeah, so I need to give those guys their shout outs. Yeah, Richard H, YouTube. Right, okay. Quick question, as you have done both of these before in vids in regards to terrain texture. What would you put in a pot, PVA paint grit, and then slap it on, or would you put it all on separate? Thanks, bud, and of course, congrats on the book. Okay, right, so what you're saying is texturing up. Would you do it separately, or whack it in together? I do both. Yeah, it depends on posh modelling, mate. How much time I've got and how invested I am in the final look. If I'm really invested in the final look, I'll do it layers by layers so I can make sure there's a lot more control. You know, when you put your PVA and grit down, you can choose where you put your more coarse sand and then your finer sand, and you can blend the edges, and that's what I do by hand. Yeah, you can make sure that where you expect to put your model soldiers, yeah, you only put the fine sand there, so it's nice and flat, and there's no the occasional big rocky bit that makes, you know, placing something down make it go like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so there's a lot more control. Yeah, you don't get that if you mix it all in and splat it down. It goes where it goes, and so, you know, so it really is down about time, investment, and control. But both techniques are valid. Okay, it's just how precise do you want to be, and do you have the time to be precise? If I was doing a bulk load of terrain, I'd be terrain glooping it, and I'd be throwing in my base coat in there with it. You know what I mean? And just literally flap it down. Yeah, let it dry, pick it up from there. Yeah, that's if I'm doing a bulk load of terrain. Yeah, if I'm doing a set for me or something more top end, lay the PVA down, work on it, because you can control, you know, areas where you've got too much PVA. They tend to soak through and they go a bit weird with the grit when you lay it on. So, you know, you can make sure it's all nice and smooth and everything's sort of ironed out. You know, it basically, you got control, mate. Yeah, so it's down to you. Yeah. Personally, my projects, I lay it on stage by stage. Yeah, if we're bashing something out, then make a gloop. Right, I'm going to have a biscuit and a bit of my brew. Quick check. Is that another 5? Thank you, guys. We're going at it. We are going at it. You can bless Mel's Adepticon venture by throwing... Thank you, Westy. Jace is doing his thing. Right. Okay, got questions. I want a biscuit first. Even though I've had a Sunday roast today. Thank you, Kerry. Yeah. And I am burnt out. And I know that I've got a long night ahead of me because I'm going to be jumping on comments. I'm kind of adapting to Adepticon time. Oh, just 1 second, it's crumbling. I've got to grab it before it goes. Right. Oh, thank you, buddy. Right. I'm getting email messages all over the place. I will have loads of comments and loads of messages to reply to. I'm slowly working through them. I'm hoping by end of play tomorrow we'll have got through and I'll have caught up, but they're still coming in thick and fast. Thank you for your support and thanks for the shares and thanks for engaging, guys. But if I'm a day or two late sort of getting back to you, just please forgive me. It's been manic. Right, PayPalers, I need to give those guys a shout out. I don't know what's come through or anything like that, or if anyone else, because we haven't really been plugging it. Remember, it's kind of supporting my Adepticon trip. Right, okay. We've got Oddins there. Thank you, buddy. Pull that up. Lee W sent or some. Oh, what's he sent? Yeah, no message. I think he sent a $5. Thank you, buddy. Jason R sent a $5. Message. No message. Hyper Agent sent a $10. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, stick money up for Chicago so you can give the muggers so you can give the muggers something to leave you alone, or grab a burger alternatively. You'll be panicking. What you call it? You'll be panicking, Kez, mate. Adam M. He sent us a $5. Thank you, buddy. So yeah, we've had some PayPals in. Inge, who Ingrid, I'm not even sure how. Ingeborg, he sent a $5 for answering the first question. Glad it helped you, buddy. Thank you. Right. Yeah, all caught up. Links down below if you're enjoying the show and you want to help me on my little trip to Chicago. It is appreciated, guys. And of course, links down below to the Kickstarter as well. Right, okay, back to my questions. Right, we're on 12 of 34. Let's do this. Right. William's asking, I'm getting into terrain and would like to know what I should get to make still water. What's the difference between realistic water and water effects? Should I get something else? Okay, you fall into two camps here. Yeah, you either fall into the acrylic water effects or you fall into the resin water effects. As a terrain maker, I always edge towards resin. Acrylic is temperamental. Okay, so you can have issues with drying, you get issues with cracking, and basically one is water curing, so it dries, you know, the water evaporates and the acrylic sets. The other one is a chemical process, so what you pour, as long as you've mixed it correctly, is what you get. Yeah. Water effects tend to be acrylic products that contain a heavy gel. So you can lay them down and create waves. But even they lose quite a lot of their volume through evaporation. When I did my D-Day boards, I mean, when I laid down my waves, they were about ½ an inch high. By the time they dried, they're about 4 mil. You know, it was a significant drop. Yeah. So it really depends on what you're doing. The acrylic stuff, the acrylic water effects is okay for puddles and small stuff, but personal experience is it tends to struggle when you scale things up. Okay, with regards to the resin tends to work better with deeper pours. You know, it tends to have a minimum pour for it to be able to, you know, settle and do its stuff. Yeah, so resin works for bigger pieces. The acrylic stuff works for the the smaller pieces, puddles, that sort of stuff. So it comes down to what you're building, mate. But I mean, both are the right product to use. You just need to make sure you're using them in the right situation. 188% of goal. We could get 209. And more information like that in the book. You see what my brain's been thinking about, can't you? Okay, let's crack on. I hope that answered your question, Will. Remember, if there are links down below for questions or tips or supporting the Kickstarter. I'm going to develop one of those Kickstarter voice. I don't even know how many people are watching because the counters froze. There's a lot of people watching. there's a lot of people watching. All right then, let's crack on. Right, Bill's asking, how many cameras do you work with now? How many mics? Enough for every person on a show? I'm working with 3 cameras at the minute when I'm filming tutorials. On the live shows, I tend to work with 2 in the studio, 1 at home. I did try scaling it up, but scaling it up complicates it, so I slimmed it back down again to what's functional. Mics, I only work off 1 generally. Yeah, mics is something I need to look into, but I made the decision. I've gone as far with mics as I can. Yeah, I mean, I've done an online audio course. I've got a lot better, and I've cleaned the audio up a hell of a lot. Yeah, compared to what it is, but I just don't have the knowledge to sort of take it to the next level, and I don't have the time to become a sound engineer. Yeah, and so actually off the back of the Kickstarter, I might be able to get someone in for a day to sort of check out everything, make the recommendations of what I want, and then show me on what I need to do on audition to clean up what I've got, you know what I mean? And just basically set everything in place to take me on, mate. To move me further. But at the same time, you know, I've got this realisation that even now, since it's funded, we're on what you call it. Since it's funded, we've hit the 4K camera goal that I wanted for the studio as well. Which means, yeah, that I've got to learn 4K editing and that sort of stuff. Oh, thank you, darling. Can I have a hug? Hello, you.
Ow.
Whoa! Oh, bare feet. Oh, I'm in the doghouse. Sorry, darling. You're right.
No, you just ran over me too with the chair. Ow.
Sorry, duck.
Oh, you bugger.
Oh, thank you, baby. I won't be getting a hug anytime soon. Right, that's Bill's question answered. Let's move on. Okay, Ben now. Oh, please tell me that was planned. Okay, Ben's asking, how would you create realistic looking artillery impacts in water? 15mm scale. You mean the plumes? I'd probably go with polyfiber coated with an acrylic paste, mate. Yeah, the polyfiber, you can get this shape. You could probably go with wire wool or something like that, but it can't be wire wool because you know, you need to bulk it out. Now, generally, at a small scale like that, you know, you'd be able to. I'm thinking about the individual plumes. You know what I mean? You'd be able to bulk it out, I would imagine. But yeah, polyfiber, some sort of acrylic texture paste. I would have thought. I haven't really played with doing big splashes and water and that sort of stuff. You can use glues, and you can do like a bit like with fire. You can do the stretchy. You know, put a glue down, pull it up. A bit like we use silicone glue on icicles, where we come along and want to put an icicle, so we get a bit of silicone glue on a spatula, go up to the sort of the rim of the building, touch it, drag it down to get a spike. So you can use glues and sealants and that sort of stuff to sort of make a, yeah, but it really does matter what sort of water splash you're trying to make. Is it a big splashy one, a plume, a little blop? Thank you, Irrational Gaz. Appreciate it, buddy. Foot massage time. Like father, like son. Oh, yes. Oh, most definitely. Doll stuffing wool, Inja's saying. Right, okay. Yes, I did do a studio tour a while ago, so people are asking. Yeah. Also, Dr. V saying 4K editing is hard. I'd recommend trying what? Trying 2.5K first. I'm gonna, to be truthful, I wasn't even expecting to have to look into it. So, hey Tanya, clear acrylic cork makes good shallow splashes in water. Yeah, exactly. The sealants, you know, that sort of stuff. It's about being able to get that peak. You know, the same thing that works on icicles. Yeah, it works creating upwards. Okay, George on YouTube. Thoughts on 1/35 scale birch trees, wire armature, or try and find some actual branches. I think it's down to, you know, what control you want over the build. At that sort of scale, 1/35 is actually, you know, that's a I mean, considering that most trees are like 100 foot tall, or can be, not most trees are 100 foot tall. That what you're going on about? I'm thinking of palm trees. You get and palm trees can go really, what's call it. So 1/35. Yeah. Yeah, wire armatures if you really want to structure the tree, but I go with branches if you want to knock them out quick, mate. Right, Kat is telling me that fibre fill is what you call it, essentially the same stuff as polyfiber. It's polyfiber in the UK. Right, hope that helps, George. Mr. H on YouTube. Will the book be hardcover? If not, are there any plans on releasing a hardcover version? It's a stretch goal. Okay, and generally, what you call it, you hard back a book once it gets to a certain thickness. Okay, and there's sort of a financial side to what you call it, to hard back in a book, because hard back in a book considerably increases its weight. Yeah, especially when you're printing thousands and then you've got to ship those around the world to different fulfillment centers. Yeah, and so we didn't want to start off with a hardback first because, you know, just the sheer cost. You know, we were hoping as the campaign grew, if there's enough interest and stretch goals, that, you know, we can, once we've bulked the book out, we can look at making it hardback. Yeah, so there is a plan to make what you call it a hardcover version. Yeah, because I do want one, I really do. Yeah, but it's a stretch goal coming. In fact, if Davy Boy's still with me, are we near or far that one, mate? I can't remember. I remember we went through them, but they have just blanked. They're just gone. I can't remember whether it was an early stretch goal or a late stretch goal. So I'll leave that to Dave in the comments. If you're making tree armatures, think about using a 3D pen to create them. Cheaper than wire and easier to create. That's curious. Yeah. I've never used a 3D pen, so I'm not sure how easy it is. But I'm curious, and to be truthful, if this continues going well, I might look at getting into 3D printing after the book's written and everything. Right, let's crack on. I'll check the PayPals in a little while, so if you've enjoyed the show, if you're enjoying the information, links down below to support me in any way you like, from PayPal to Patreon to pledging on Kickstarter. They're all down below. I'll leave it to you guys. Yeah, but thank you for your support, genuinely. Right, Norm Rowe is asking on YouTube, Mel, you're obviously talented at visualizing your things. Have you visualized your book? Partially. Yeah, I can, when I'm doing builds, yeah, I can be doing a build and I can see one side of the table on perfect clarity, and then the other side of the table is sort of hazed out, like I can't properly see it. Yeah, because my brain hasn't said, right, this is what we're doing there. Yeah, but I can physically see the table, you know, sort of superimposed on top of what I'm building. I can see the what the finish is, yeah, and where it's going, even at just raw foam stage. Yeah, if I can visualize it, and, you know, I've got a clear path of that's what I'm doing there, that's what I'm doing there, that's what I'm doing there. If I've got a bit of a mental block on one side, then quite often what I'll do is I'll watch it. it'll sort of, my brain will sort of fuzz it out, so I can't see it, so I've just got a vague idea. It's similar with the book. There's sections of it that I can see clearly of how we want things to work on the instructional side. And there's vague bits on like, right, handling the materials and where am I going to put the top tips and, you know what I mean? And I think basically, you know, my brain just hasn't figured those details out, but I'm starting to visualize it. I think when I actually start to really put information, I think when I start to do the builds and document them and write the hardcore tutorial stuff, because at the minute most of the theory and the it's a mixture between broken English and bullet points, but padding everything out. I didn't want to put too much effort into a prior launch into writing the stuff, simply in case it just didn't fund. You know what I mean? Oh, my sweet summer child. But I didn't want to put the effort in. You know, I didn't want to put, but, you know, with Patreon, with everything that was going on and with sorting, you know, trips to Beast of War and all that sort of stuff, I wanted to bullet point and document what I wanted in the book more than write the book. Yeah, and so with those sections, I'm not really sure. But I think really when I start doing the actual builds and documenting those, that's when it'll start to come together and visualise, mate. People are asking me if you can send a letter or package to Mel. You can send it to the studio, mate. Just email me. I used to give out my home address, you know, and people used to say that, and I've come to realise that's probably a bad idea nowadays. So any parcels or anything like that, they come to Watchclay. I get them sent to the studio. Because everyone knows them at Spodeworks, you know what I mean? Right, question 18 of 34. Cat. Oh, right. Gave you the wrong info on Uber. Thought you were in a downtown hotel. Your hotel is only 14 miles from the airport. Yeah, so Uber will be less than we quoted, and Uber pool will be really cheap. That's brilliant. To be truthful, after you guys sort of gave me those figures. Hello, you. Right, come here. 1 second, guys.
Get out of that chair.
Yeah, I've got out of the chair. Oh, God. Oh. Sorry about you, Ted.
I'll let you off.
Oh. Sure, just email me, Menno. I'm catching up on my emails as well, so it might be a day or two before I get there. Right, so I wasn't really worried too much after you guys gave me the yellow cab rates. I mean, they're a lot different to here in the UK. I mean, for me to travel 14 miles in the UK would cost me, through a city, yeah, that's going to cost me close to 3 figures in British. Yeah, it wouldn't be cheap. 14 miles through a city. But, you know, things are a lot more expensive in the UK. Hope you get some backers. Thanks you, bud. Right. Right, Jacob F. Right, Mel, congrats on the Kickstarter. I'm already excited to get my copy. Nice one, buddy. I'm about to start my first foam board project. I've already gone through and watched all your buildings and ruins videos. Nice. I was wondering if you had any advice on what kind of building I should make first. I'm a little nervous because I've never made a building before. Mostly worked on Mordheim kind of thing. Don't make buildings, mate. Yeah? Make little ruin walls. Okay? Little ruin walls allow you to practice every single thing you need to do to make a building. The joints at the corners, getting your rubble right, yeah, cutting doors and windows in foam board, getting used to how to cut in the foam, yeah. But they're best way to explain this. All the same techniques, but because you're making lots of little, yeah, terrain pieces instead of big ones, you're actually practicing the techniques more. Yeah, when you're tackling something new, what you often find is, yeah, if you make like 4 or 5 foam board buildings first, your last one, yeah, will be significantly better than the first one because your techniques actually, you know, you learn, you get a feel for it over the builds, and so your quality improves even over such a small build. It's why I tell people never tackle anything really big to start off with, because your build quality will change through the actual build of the single building, you know. But if you tackle all the little things first, so loads of little walls, yeah, with doors in, maybe, you know, a little wall in a corner and perhaps a little platform, that'll help you with attaching walls, but it gives you lots of little opportunities. And you will make mistakes, you're figuring it out, so there will be pieces you don't like, but because they're just little ones, it's a lot easier for you to go, well, that's okay, because I was learning on those. You know what I mean? It's not like, I've made this house, I don't want to throw it away, but it's not the best, and I can see my mistakes on it. You know, and you're like, oh, that, you know, it becomes the dodgy house in your terrain set. Yeah? So start on the little walls, because, you know, if you have one that goes really bad, well, okay, you know what I mean? Or, you know, I'll put that to the side to practice flocking on, or, you know, practice moss techniques on, or something like that. You know, with little ones, you can do with that, you know. Once your terrain set's built up, just right there, a bit raggedy. They were, you know, I was learning. Take them one side and say, right, I'm going to use these to practice doing, like, rust stains, or I'm going to use these to practice doing moss or battle damage. You know what I mean? So, go small, go lots of little small, though. Yeah, and by the time you come out the end of there, you'll be comfortable with all the techniques. And when you go into the actual building the houses, what you'll find is, because you've already made that skill improvement and that adaptability over the little ones, your houses are all built to your sort of, I know what I'm doing, I've got this technique down, and it's good, sort of standard. You know what I mean? Not the learning curve. Ah. Definitely a YouTube play button tattoo. What? There's a beautiful question, but it's not on the Google Doc. But I'm going to ask Infinity Studio on what you call it. Anyway, right, Jacob, hope that answers your question, mate. Lots of little ones. Get your techniques on there, mate. And then crack on. Okay, Infinity Studio, question. Yeah, we know what everyone else is hoping to learn from the book Kickstarter experience. What are you hoping to personally learn or gain from the experience? I don't know. You see, I'm not learning about well, I am learning about book publishing, but Dave's handling all that. Yeah. Unlike doing YouTube and stuff where I'm learning about video editing and audio engineering and all that sort of palaver and social media marketing, the book is about pictures and words, and I've done that before. Yeah, so I'm not really learning about writing that much. So I don't know. I mean, I will be learning stuff from doing it, because of course, I mean, it's a completely new experience, so I've got to be learning stuff. But I don't know. To be perfectly honest, it's the first weekend, guys. I wasn't even expecting it to fun for a couple of weeks. I hadn't really given these ideas any thought. Right. Oh, I need that. I might need another biscuit. We're an hour and a half in and we are still going. Right. Question 20 of 35. Peter's asking, I'm using vulcanized coconut fibre from a roll from hanging baskets. Very nice for thatch. Would I get away with adding the roof to my buildings after painting? It's already a good colour and I'm not sure how it will look after priming. This is one of those situations where he's got a really good material that's got a natural looking colour because it's natural looking colour. And he's thinking, I could stick it on afterwards, okay, because I'm not sure I can get it and paint it back to a better colour than it looks just natural. I've experienced this. I think what you've got to remember, mate, is that, yeah, you can put it on, but if you're not including it as part of the painting and priming and sealing process, it's liable to damage. It's liable to change with nature. Do you know what I mean? My gut feeling would be bite the bullet and prime it and, you know, do it as part of the build. Yeah. I know you might be struggling with the confidence to paint it up better, but in 2-3 years time, perhaps you've had it in a dry room and it goes really brittle and ends up, you know, you handle it and it crumbles. These things can happen unless you seal them and, you know, you fix them and that sort of stuff. So I think you'd be better off biting the bullet now and taking on the challenge of painting it. Remember, you can get this stuff and you can just glue a load of them, load of little patches down onto a big sheet of board and go, right, tonight I'm going to have a go at painting this one. Paint above it the colours that you use to paint it. You write on the board a little notes about what you thought and that sort of stuff. And then just over a little period, each night come and do a couple of little patches. You know what I mean? And make some notes, get a feel for it before you tackle your final terrain build. Yeah, but my recommendation is, even though you may think it looks better natural, in the future, yeah, it's going to change. I'd seal it, prime it, go artificial. Did it. Right, let's have a look. Right, that was for Pete. Hope you found it helpful, buddy. Links down below. Yeah, Kat's saying she often buys things at the market for the packaging. I've been known to do that. One guy was thrilled with his wife's new Hoover because of the foam inside. I have been that guy. And it was my Hoover. I like cleaning. Right, Ravensworth on YouTube. What's your favourite paint to use as a base coat on terrain boards? Generally, it's there like a Java bean from what you call it. Nice one. It's a Java bean from Wilco's. It's a really reddy brown, yeah, and I find I can manipulate it quite nice, and it gives me a, you know, a nice, what you call it. This is me. I've been blubbering. My eyes are streaming, all that sort of stuff. I look like I've come out like, it's what you lot do to me. Right. So yeah, normally a dark reddy, what you call it, but you can get some great earth colours. I think I liked it because it was one of the first colours I used before I really nailed down earth colours, and I learned how to adapt it to get really good looking colour. Yeah, I think if I was revisiting, I'd probably go along, you know, and go for the more realistic earth tones. The, you know, well, what does Fred call them? A Van Dyke brown. Yeah, for damp, and then I think it's if you want a deserty, it's ochre. The umbers, burnt and raw umber, because they're earth tones. Anyway, hope that answers your question, matey. Remember, question links down below. Okay, Steve Hill, YouTube. What's your technique for painting white mortar into brickwork? This would be for 28mm, so brickwork quite large. Chalk. I don't normally recommend chalk for weathering buildings, especially coloured chalks, because it's actually chalk that's dyed, and therefore it's not a fixed pigment. Weathering pigments are actually minerals and earth, you know, that are specifically that pigment, so they don't change. Chalk can change if you use coloured chalk and it gets wet or something like that. It can change over time, so I don't normally recommend it. But that bit of chalk I do recommend is for white, because chalk is naturally white, and so that doesn't change. And that's why for brickwork you use chalk. So it's dead simple. All you need to do is break up some chalk, some white chalk, crumble it down into a powder, yeah, brush it all over, yeah, and then get, a slight, you know, really a damp, yeah, you don't want it soaked, because you don't want, as you push it down, you don't want the moisture to run out into the brickwork, but just a slightly damp cloth, yeah, and just work off the excess, so, you know, like an inverse dry brush, yeah, so you can take it off the top but leave it in the recesses, yeah, And then once that's sort of dried, come along, and then normally what I do is quick blast of hairspray as a quick fixer to hold the chalk in place. Yeah, and then I'd watch it go along and I'd give it a varnish seal to fix that in place, because remember there's no glue on there to actually hold the chalk, yeah, which you're using as a weathering powder, or in this mortar, chalk in place. I mean, if you don't want to do the chalk, yeah, what you can do is you can use dilute white paint. Yeah, so you water down, you brush water all over your brickwork. Yeah, you brush on white paint, and as it slowly starts to settle before it dries, you come in again with a damp towel and essentially just raise it off the excess. It can lighten your bricks a little bit more, but you've got a lot more control over with the chalk, because you can get in and pretty much wipe it all off if you want to. Yeah, whereas with the white paint, because of the binder, you know, it is going to remain. But there's 2 techniques for you, buddy. Links down below. Max's Hobby Productions. Any tips for modelling Welsh-like countryside terrain? I want to build a small 2x4 4x2 diorama. Any tips? Yeah. Having grown up in North Wales, make everything damp looking. Lots of water, lots of dark colours, rocks are dark. Add a couple of sheep. You'll be fine, mate. Really dark grass. No, North Wales is a very wet and rainy place. Okay, and I'm not joking. It just is. You know, it's something to do with warm air from England hitting the Welsh mountains and then the coast air coming in, and it just makes Wales a wet place. Okay, and so you associate dark ground. You associate, you know, rocks that are well weathered because of the rainfall, and sheep. Welsh lambs. Hope that helps, Max. Okay, Blake, trying your clay sandbags while waiting for my bridge project to dry. Hi from Eastern Canada. Nice one, buddy. Don't look. I've looked. Oh boy. That's close to 57. Sorry guys, it's getting slightly distracted again. Right, okay, no, not Facebook. People are messaging me all over the place. Right, 24 of 36. Westy. I want to make a strong tone dip shade for popsicle sticks so I can make a D&D table, chess, etc. Want to make a wooden garden wood stain. What sort of recipe should I use? I can raw dip it, can I? Depends what you're dipping it in. Ron Seal is the old one that everyone says. It goes back to God, the really early days of wargaming, where, you know, miniature dip was Ron Seal wood stain. Everyone used to use. God, we used to use it by the ton at the wargaming. Used to be a couple of guys who did the old-fashioned, old-fashioned Napoleonics and stuff like that, and they'd be dunking it like crazy. Yeah, but yeah, I think Ron Seal wood stain you can go straight off the top, but essentially you want a brown wood stain. Yeah, depending on whether you want a soft wash or a dark wash, depends on what sort of wood stain you want. Yeah, but with a polyurethane varnish. Yeah, if you're going for like the army painted dips, sort of similar recipe. Yeah, because you need a varnish on it. Remember, you'll have to matte coat it afterwards because it'll be glossy. Yeah, or if you just want the wash, you go for the for just a simple wood stain. Hope that helps, Westy. Come on, next question. Thank you. Right, Daniel's asking, what would you recommend for camouflage netting over military emplacements World War II vehicles? Generally cheesecloth. Yeah, cheesecloth is quite thin. There's what else? Bandage. Thin bandage. That works. If you want to go a bit coarse, you can get into coarser bandages. There's a special type of cloth, and the name of it is right. Ish. Where is it? Keep an eye on the comments because someone is going to chip in because it's a really common one we use. And I can't remember the name of it. It's driving me nuts. But one of you guys will know it because it's the common one. But yeah, you can use any of those. What you've really got to do is look at the material, then look at what it's going over and ask yourself, does that look realistic? God, I used to hate that bloody stuff. Always used to get your weapon caught in it. Trying to get on top of the wagon, put your poles up and what you call it. And climbing down, you can barrel of the SLR, go through the net, and be like, because it's on a sling, you know, like climb down or you jump down, but you don't realise that you watch it, your barrel of your SLR. I mean, when you're doing your netting, what you do is you get your weapon, and this was the old ones with the SLR, so it had a simple single sling, not the clicky one that you get with the SA80. But with the old SLR, it was a normal thing. So what you could do was, you'd have your weapon like that on a sling, and you'd grab it, you could slide it round so the barrel was pointing down. I always used to do this when you were doing camo netting, because when you go out camoing up your vehicle, yeah, you'd get these poles, put the net over the top of it, and then prop the net up with these poles. But that involved climbing up and, you know, moving the net around. So you'd have the barrel of your weapon pointing downwards, so as you climbed up, it didn't get caught in the netting. The only problem was, yeah, if you were jumping down, if the barrel got caught, yeah, in the webbing, yeah, you'd end up hanging somewhere like by your sling as you've jumped down. I hated that stuff. Didn't trigger. Daniel saying didn't mean to trigger bad memories. Oh, trying to do it in the dark, especially if you're in a wood and you can't even see the branches. JP Grot say mum's stocking muslin cloth, yeah, muslin. I keep getting that wrong. Yeah. Your mum's stockings will work too. Well, buy stockings, don't take your mum's. Gothic Gaming's on Twitch. Okay, after last week I'm going to make modular boards, but rather than the churchyard, which will now be a baseboard with scatter terrain. Like that idea, mate. Yeah, I'll be making grass modular boards for general wargaming. My question is regarding roads. Will the techniques on your channel for the dirt and tarmac roads work okay going straight onto a modular board, or is there better to have separate roads? No, I mean, it's down to you, mate. The techniques that we showed on the, on the Let's Make Roads and Paths and Tarmac and Dirt Tracks, all those techniques will transfer across to modular boards. The only thing you have to do is maintain the modularity. Yeah, if you want to at the same time go with normal roads and that sort of stuff, yeah, then that's doable too. You know what I mean? Right. We are 27. I am going to close the questions now. I don't know whether to close the questions. Oh, we've got a little while yet. It's still going on. Okay, right. Okay, Otis from West Virginia. Yeah, made my tunnels out of cardboard. I'm going to use egg cartons that are roughed up on the outside to look like O-rocks. Or cinder block work. I don't know. To be honest, Otis, I'm not sure what your question is there, buddy. Feel free to re-ask it, but be a bit clearer, mate. Gothic saying, just about to log off for bed and my question is answered. Brilliant. No worries, buddy. It's taken me a little while. There's a few of them, but we're getting through them. Latest Westy. Okay, Glenn's asking, placing some buildings on a modular hex terrain. Which would be best? Just have some flat hexes and set buildings as placeable terrain. Format some hexes specifically to have the buildings fit on them. Make hex edge baseboard for the buildings so they interconnect with the rest of the terrain. My gut feeling would be, if you go, I think I know the project you're talking about, and it's a beautiful one. I've seen it on the terrainiacs, I think. Yeah, in that case, I wouldn't let your terrain be restricted by your hexes. I would do that sort of co-joined sort of hexes, multiple hexes, so you can fit a decent sized house on there. That's how I'd approach that. I mean, of course, you can just have small scatter pieces as hexes, but what you call it. But I think on that system and the way you've done it, I think houses and buildings are feature pieces that deserve to be, what you call it, represented, not constrained by the modularity system. Yeah, so make them feature builds, you know, so you build them out of like 2 or 3 hexes, or you know, as a single base. Have the building and the paths and that sort of stuff, and what you call it, and just use the other single modular hexes around it. You know what I mean? To build up the train and that sort of stuff. That's how I'd go on that one, mate. Right, hope that helps. Right, moving on. MDJ Red on YouTube. I'm still working on my 1944 Battle of the Bulls diorama. It's a panther near a road. Do you have any recommendations of wood I should use? Right. Wood for what, mate? I'll see if he comments it. I'll scroll on and see if he's still in the chat. We'll see if he comments. Okay, Model Maker's asking, do you have any experience with dioramas underwater explosions, as in making the effect in resin so it looks like it's underwater with a pressure wave? I'll be honest with you, I've seen it done a few times, done with what you call it, by injecting into resin. Yeah, the technique comes from the cake makers. They do a lot of glazing, and they can, like, they do all sorts of awesome stuff inside resin, inside gelatin as it's setting. Yeah, I haven't actually done it. It's something I want to look at, but right now a lot of my learning has been perfecting the water and the looks of the beaches and colour of water in general. I haven't got around to doing underwater explosions as of yet. You know, it's not really something we use in wargaming much, to be perfectly honest, but it is an interest and I have seen it done. Thank you, Joey. Oh, nice one, B Mozza. 189%. Can we get it to what you call it? 209 before the end of the show? Can we? Right. I'm going to switch the questions off now because I've got 39. I'm on 30, so we've got a few more. We're coming up on 2 hours. We have 1% to go. How many backers do we need for that 1%? Is it 10 or 100? If it's 10, we might do it. If it's 100, we ain't going to do it. For the best of wills, I know it's going great. It is. It's going great. Thank you, guys. Pardon me. I'm sort of distracting myself with comments. Right. Okay, no, back to my questions. Right, that was the underwater one from Model Maker. Moving on. Right, Pete's asking, what you call it? If I want to put a gravel path on a terrain base, should I try doing it with the filler while I'm stippling, or just use some grey scatter? Depends on the width. Okay, if I was doing a really small one and one that isn't really being used, you could use some grey scatter, and that's a technique from the railroad guys. They used to buy, you know, Javis sells flock, yeah, just as they sell the green stuff. They sell flock that looks like gravel, and you can just sprinkle it down to get your gravel paths, yeah. If you're doing something that's going to be functional, perhaps have models on it, that sort of stuff, I would look at creating it with the filler. Yeah, because what you don't want is anything where it's being functional and being used, the flock wearing off or something like that, and, you know, your path disappearing. So it's better to actually build it into what you call it. It's 17, they think, for that last 1%. Oh, can we do it before the show? Barry's saying, congrats for funding last night from Fight All Your Own Battles. Thanks for the support on the Kickstarter, mate, and off the Kickstarter, dude. It's appreciated. It genuinely is. Right, see you later, MJ Red. It's about 300 quid. It's for 1%, is it? Right. I don't know. I don't know if we'll do it. Be nice to round the show off, you know, with 190, but we'll just keep going. Right. Right, Otis is asking, do I need to send you a physical address so you can mail me the book? Yes, with regards to actually shipping the book, after the campaign finishes, yeah, you have this thing called a pledge manager. Yeah, and a pledge manager is where you log in and we get your address details and all that sort of stuff to make sure you can actually get your pledge. Okay, that's perfectly normal. If you haven't actually entered your address into Kickstarter and you're wondering how do you get your book, that's all managed at the in the pledge manager stage, and it's done after the campaign. Okay, but don't worry about that. That happens after we've it. Yeah, but it is covered and it's all perfectly normal. Remember, Dave's already gone through this process and he's shipped his book out, so he's used this and got addresses, you know, to actually arrange the shipping of his book Kickstarter. So don't worry about that, guys. Okay, 33. Oh, 39. Denny's saying, hey Mal, just starting to get into terrain and was wondering, what thickness of plastic card should I be looking at getting to make multi-level ruins? Shipping is pretty crazy, so I want to order the right stuff first time. Right, you don't really want plastic card, yeah, for multi-level ruins. You're probably thinking about foam board, and in which case you want 5mm foam board. Plastic card tends to be anything from I think the thickest plastic card I use is 2mm. Yeah, and that's not suitable for making multi-level ruins. So I think you've got the wrong name. Yeah, you may be talking about EPVC, Foamex Palite, yeah, expanded PVC foam board, yeah, or you may be talking about the normal polystyrene foam board or mounting board. Yeah, but in either of those for ruins, you want to be looking at 5-6mm. Hope that helps, buddy. Fabian's asking, have you considered making a chapter in the book with child-friendly projects? It did come up, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. I think what I've got to do is stay true to Wargames terrain. Yeah. I don't want to... I've only got so much space. You know what I mean? So, I think at best, it'll be more a theory page. You know, of look, this is what I think about making terrain with kids and that sort of stuff. But that's not what the book's about. It's not aimed for making terrain with children. You'll be able to use it to make terrain with children, but it's not there to teach you specifically making terrain with children. I think there's a lot of requests that, you know, I can't cover, or I can't cover in enough depth to make it worthwhile covering. Yeah, so. You know what I mean? Is that right, Tam? I'm sorry if I'm feeling you let down, you know, but what I don't want to do is get into a situation of promising everyone everything and then diluting down what I really want to give you. So I'm just going to have to call it and say, look, you know, that isn't really a consideration in the book. You know, if there's space, if I can do something on it, you know, as we get stretch goals and that sort of stuff when the book expands. Yeah, but whilst we're still at this stage, it's wargaming terrain, and you know, and the vast majority of people making wargaming terrain are adults, and if they are making it with children, you know, they're intelligent enough to be able to adapt what's in the book to a child product. You know what I mean? Hey Mal, you're at plus 16 pages? I know. Yeah, tell Dave he needs more stretch. We've got the stretch. We need to hit it. That's the thing. And we're getting there. We are getting there. Catch you later, Mike. Making terrain with children. Now that's a material I hadn't even considered before. Oh, I have. Yeah, Fabian's saying that's fine for me. Yeah, watch it. I've got to stay on topic, guys. You know what I mean? What I don't want to do is end up making loads of promises and then giving you a book that I didn't really want to give you because I've made promises in the heat of the moment. So I'm trying to stay true. Right, we are at 35. No, that was just spam. Sam saying, have you ever painted any Test of Honor building kits? If you're talking about the Sarissa Precision ones, yeah. I think in my Back to Basics playlist, or maybe in the Buildings and Ruins playlist, there's my top 10 tips for MDF kits. Yeah, top 10 tips for MDF kits. Yeah, but I built testers on the Sarissa Precision Japanese Dojo to demo the techniques in that. So yeah, I built it. It's a nice kit and it turned out lovely. Plus there's a video there with like 11 tips, yeah, on how to build that for all your MDF kits as well. Okay, moving fastly forward. Martin the Warrior. Hey Mal, I'm currently working on a display base for one of my models. I want to paint it as if it's a sunrise sunset, but don't know how to convey that idea using golden sunlight hitting the rocks and buildings. Any ideas? Yes, mate. Okay, you want to have a look into something called optics. But generally, yeah, sunset, it's a ready sort of, what you call it, orangey. Just include just a tiny little bit into all your colours. Every single colour you're using on your model base, just include a little bit of it. Yeah. If you want to convey it properly, pick a side that the sun is shining from. Yeah, and use it in the paints on that side, but not on the paints on the other one. Yeah, and wow, because you get a contrast, you get shadow, but it's a golden shadow and it's lovely. Anyway, mate, hope that helps you, buddy. That's quite an in-depth topic to go into, and you know, I need to go into it. You know what I mean? Pim's asking, what's my Twitch account? The Terrain Tutor. I am the Terrain Tutor on everything. Right. I have 2 more questions to answer. Yeah, I'm going to check my PayPals. And then, guys, we'll check the Kickstarter and see how we're doing. Listen, if you've enjoyed the show and you'd like to show your support, remember, if you can't show your support, share the Kickstarter for me. Get it out there. Endorse it. Yeah, the more it's seen, the more support we get, the more pages I get. Okay? If you can watch it, if you do want to chip in on the Kickstarter, great. If you don't want to chip in on the Kickstarter, you want to support me in another way, perhaps support and get me over to Adepticon, links down below. Maybe you want to jump on the Patreon, but it's all links down below, guys. Ah, I am wrong. I've got no more questions. The last 2 are spam. Right. That's my questions done. I'm usually amazed at what the kids come up with. Watching their little brains go wild is so exciting. Yeah. Except for when they're trying to be quiet about it. And that's when I worry. Alright then. Oh, people are messaging? No, not that. Let me... Right, I think we've had 1 more via PayPal. Yeah, what's right? Thomas H. He sent us a tenner. Thank you, buddy. It's well done on the Kickstarter, mate. Can't wait till we get the book. Thank you, Tom. Thank you a lot. Appreciate it, dude. Righty-ho. Mel's done with his questions. We have had a hell of a stream. We have hit 30,000. Oh, no, that was our goal. We've hit £57,000. Wow. That's awesome, guys. Yeah, showing up on the app as 190% funded. You are. What a way to finish the show. 190% funded. Oh, man. Thank you, guys. Right, I'm going to call it Yeah, I need to charge up my brew, get ready for a long night of comments, and yeah, so if you commented or messaged me on Facebook or YouTube, you might get an answer over the next sort of 4 or 5 hours. We'll see how time goes. Yeah, in the meantime, yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it. All the best. Ta-ra. Right, where's the button? There's the button. Laters.